I've lost you on my screen now. Where I've lost you on my screen. Where are you? Yeah, I can't. I've lost you on the screen. There you go. You're back. Yes, I'm all good. I'm back. Yeah, I can't. I've got you. I've got me. I've got me on echo. I've got you. I've got me echo. Oh, we're live. Oh God, I didn't realise. Okay, hello, I'm back. Sorry, I didn't know I was actually live. Well, I've got mute. I can't hear anything, Rich. All I've got is music. Oh, we're live. Oh God, I didn't realise. I've got back. Sorry, I've got echo. I've got nothing, Rich. I've got mute. I can't hear anything, Rich. All I've got is music. I didn't realise. I've got back. Sorry, I've got echo. You're playing me on a loop, Rich. Playing me on a loop, Rich. Nope, nothing at all. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. But all I've got is me on echo. Hi, Stace. No, nothing at all. I can't talk like this. I can't. All I've got is my echo in my head. But all I've got is me on echo. Hi, Stace. No. How are we doing? No, Sanya, I'm not doing this afternoon, honey. No, I can't hear a noise at all now. Haven't got any, Stace. How are we doing? No, I've just got an echo. No, Sanya, I'm not doing this afternoon, honey. No, I can't hear a noise at all now. Haven't got any, Stace. How are we doing? No, I've just got an echo. No, Sanya, I'm not doing this afternoon, honey. No, I can't hear a noise at all now. Haven't got any, Stace. How are we doing? Rich, I keep getting the same loop, the same sounds from back again, Rich. Yeah, well, I'm getting feedback. I'm getting the same loop, same sound again, Rich. Yeah, well, I'm getting feedback. I'm getting the same loop, same sound again, Rich. Yeah, well, I'm getting feedback. I'm getting the same loop, same sound again, Rich. Yeah, like. Yeah, like. I need to mute the laptop. I haven't got a laptop. I've just got my PC on. It's just me and the speaker from that. It's just me and the head. I need to mute See, now I can't hear anything. I don't know if you can hear me at all. I can't hear my voice. I can't hear anything. It's just gone deadly silent. I'll turn the speaker off. It's deadly silent. The mic is on. My mic is on, so I hope everyone can hear me now. Mic's on. The mic was what happened, but the mic. Mic is on. Mic was on. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I've got my mic on. I'm here, and we can just talk. So I don't know. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, great. So I just had a message from who's watching. Right. Hold on. I think. Right. I think we're good to go. Yay! No, lost you. We're back. No, I've lost the. Oh, bloody. Yay! Hello. I'm back. Hiya, Bev. How you doing? How's your puppy? Oh, right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Oh, I can see you lot. I've got a bit of music playing. It's pissing down with rain outside. It's the light in here. I've got a friend of mine just messaged me taking the mickey. Great, happy days because she's watching. So, no, it's not good. Chris, not supposed to speak. That's just me. I'm a technophobe. I'm just crap at this stuff. Hi, Adria. How you doing? So let's start talking. What do you want to talk about? I don't know. I can read it now. I've got my favourite music playing. I've got my water, no vodka. I've got my water. And is there anything you want to talk about or ask questions about? Because that's this afternoon. It's questions and answers and chit chat. And when I do, hiya Holly, loads of kisses to you too. And when I do these nights on my own sort of channel, we're also going down rabbit holes because I tend to be a bit outspoken. I'll say my views. I'll say what I'm thinking. So if you do ask me any questions, there'll be my anecdotal, personal answers of what I believe to be my truth, and it'll be your truth. But I will just tell you how I view it, and I try and be very logical. I try to be pragmatic. How did you realise I was psychic? Your puppies are great. Yeah, very good, Bev. How did I know I was psychic? We're all psychics. Psychics, it means knowing. I don't like the word psychic because it's misused. Let's use the word intuitiveness. So let's start with something basic about basic psychic ability. When you meet someone, do you like them or you don't like them? That's psychic. You ever met anyone that you've known forever? Intuitiveness. There's a soul connection. All part of being psychic. Have you ever walked into a house and gone, oh, I don't like this house? You know. And that's the basis of it. It's the feelings. We're all psychic. Some better than others. Some misled more than others. But yeah. So we are all, but it's like any ability, it's how much you use it. We've all got the ability to be bodybuilders if you want to take it that way. You know, or for example, I love yoga. I'm not very bendy, but I love yoga. I've been doing about 3 or 4 years, 3.5 years. I'm more bendy than I was, but I'm never going to get some of these binds that go on. It doesn't mean I can't do it. It doesn't mean I haven't got a yoga ability. Because my yoga ability is my own personal yoga ability. You're psychic. Yes, they are. Nature lover. Yes, they are. That's one of the biggest load of shit comments going, oh yes, all mediums are psychics, not all psychics are mediums. It's rubbish. Everyone can be a medium. Being a medium is just a faculty of being spiritual. We're all spirit, therefore we can all blend with spirit. And I mean, I'm not saying we're all destined to be like world famous. I'm not a clairvoyant. I don't see spirit. I feel them, I sense them, I get to know them. And I've trained at a lot. And my mentor, a guy called Aim Downey, who's a guy I love more, well, just love him to pieces as a mentor. He always said, mediumship is easy. How's the medium? And the job of the medium is to get out of the way. And our job as mediums is to quieten the mind. So spirit and my spirit and their spirit can blend and give them a voice. That's okay, nature. Don't worry. But everyone can be. Everyone's got potential to be a psychic and a medium. Why? Because we are spirit. We got half our life, half our foot. One of our feet always in spirit world. Why? Because that's where we're going to. This physical experience is just that. It's a physical experience. It's wonderful. Some days are great. I had the perfect day and evening yesterday. Absolutely frigging perfect. Didn't do anything really. I was just, with a friend of mine and we were bloody cleaning and stuff. But I had the best day in that moment. Yeah. So what I'm getting to is this physical experience is just that when we cross over, we go home. But why can't we blend with home when we want to? That's my view. Can we? Yeah. But it's like anything. It's like anything they say. Yeah. You have to find what you mean by good. What do you mean by the word good? Do you mean can you get in front of 1,000 people and be a medium? That's something completely different than you sit in the quiet and feeling your own loved ones around you. Define what you mean by good, really, nature lover. I like your picture, or your colour, your brown and cream. I like that. How can I bring it out? If you mean your ability, well, it all starts with quite. It's all about self, Christine. And again, when I talk about mediumship, I view my view of mediumship is that I have to quiet my mind down, get my mind completely out of the way. Even though I might be chatting in front of an audience, it's my mind's out of the way, my emotions are out of the way, then my spirit can manifest. And once my spirit manifests, I can get my working power up, like a mobile phone. You build your working power up, you put in your SIM card, your O2 card that links you with the divine, and off you go. And the more you get out of the way, the more the brain can't interfere with it. And that's the starting point, is sitting in the quiet. And I don't mean meditation, because meditation is great for trance, but when you do mediumship, the brain quietens down, the limbic system goes crazy, and that's when it goes like really fast, and that's when you start playing with spirit, the divine. And it's just I can't tell you how to do it because I'm not teaching you, but I've got if I can, what I'll do, and I'm sure Richard won't mind. This is my link. This is the link to my SoundCloud page. And what I'm putting up for you, Christine, is the link to my CD, and it's free. So I'm not trying to say anything. You can play it as much as you want. It's called Everyone's a Medium, and I hope Rich is okay. He's not going to take it down because he's the host. But literally, you can link to that page, and just play the CD to your heart's content, and it takes you to the exercise that I teach about how everyone's a medium. It's not about getting up in front of people. It's about just find that place. I do it every morning, meditation. We do a meditation every morning, well, 5 mornings a week now at 9 o'clock in the morning. And it's about getting the body out of the way, getting the mind out of the way, getting the emotions out of the way. Then once your own spirit can manifest, and that's it. The hardest thing about being a medium is working through our own shit. It's working through all the stuff that we carry. Because our journey here is a physical, is to find that place of, I'll get a bit deep now, of unconditional love, of experiencing it and giving it. And then when you find that place, then your mediumship, because you can feel and sense. Because I remember I work clairsentiently, Christine, which means I sense them, I feel them, and I get to know. If you watch me work online, I literally get to know. I feel them. What are they like? Who are they like? You know, and that's how they work. But thank you. But yeah, have a look over that SoundCloud if you want to. Thank you, Christine. A nice question. But yeah, that's so. I don't go along with sorry, just something just come up on my screen. So I've lost you again. I expect. How do I realise I can do it? I don't know if I still can. We're all at Nature. I don't know your name. We are all a work in progress. So the first step, I'm going to your first ever workshop, or whether you're like me, and before the lockdown back, I was doing some sort of demo show 6 nights a week. I was doing a house party or a church or a show or I was getting one night. So all it has is a bit more experience than you, really. But it wasn't quite. I think what it is that confidence comes with experience, and you only get experience by practicing it. So even now, there'll be nights I go, oh, I missed that up. And then the nights you go, yeah, it wasn't bad. But I got told by a very well-known medium once, the minute you think you've cracked it, the minute you've got it, give up. Because all we're doing is scratching the surface. And all I might be nature love is just a little bit further down, scratch a little bit deeper than you, but a little bit. But it's a constant learning, because you're learning about yourself. Remember, what we're dealing with is ultimate intelligence. They are ultimate intelligence, and we're spirit. And we're you know, I'm not a petulant child with spirit. You know, I'm so respectful. I'm so I like to think I'm so respectful. I'm not always very reverent. I mean, you know, I always say when I get to the other side, I'm going to be on that spiritual naughty step for like forever and ever and ever. So that's me. Hi everyone. Hi Mr. and Mrs. B. How are you doing? Hi, Bethany. I am great, Bethany. How are you doing? As I'm saying, they can hear me now. Oh, good. And said hello to me. Hello to you too, young lady. Right, so I'm very well. Considering the lockdown, how are you all doing with the lockdown? It's been a strange turn of events. Read somewhere they think it's going to go past Christmas now. Well, there's a surprise. So if there's anyone with any questions that they want to talk about, let me know. Otherwise, I will waffle on for England. If it's all right with your well, I'm glad you're okay. I like your photograph. That's very good. It's wonderful. I like that. What should we talk about? I don't know. I can talk about anything if you want. So we're talking about mediumship. Hi Stace, how are you doing? Because I can't actually. Hi Becs Sawyer. Oh, hi Sue. What would someone like to talk about? Otherwise, I will just waffle on. Well, thank you, Terry Wall. Very nice of you to share us. Yes, because Paul Richard's been through a bit of a meal, really. Hi, Sanya. Because I've not been able to get onto his Facebook page. We're on YouTube. And someone's just trying to work out where we go and how we work it all out. But it's here and we're here. And whoever's meant to be here is here for a bit. And then what I will do, I tell you what I'm going to talk about, because I don't know how many people are watching. What I'm going to do when I finish here, I go onto my bed, which is just that way. And I put my little spirit blanket, my green spirit blanket, and I'll do my meet and greet for tonight. And hi, Andrea. And my meet and greet is simply a way of me meeting my first reunion with the first spirit person I'm going to work with tonight. I want to share, hi, Holly, what I want to share is quite a funny story, actually. Because as weird as it sounds, is that I'll often meet this first spirit person I'm going to work with, and they'll show me where their recipient is sitting, where they're going to be, what they're going to be wearing off their name. Bit freaky deaky. But Monday night, I was going to go online, just getting ready to go online. In the afternoon, I did my meeting. We got no one. I got some idea of, they were trying to show me something, how we went out of the body. I went, oh, yeah, that's great, but who have you got? No one. I thought, okay. I like to know who my first reunion is going to be with, because it gives me that confidence. My first link is going to be a mum or it's a sister. It's nice, but nothing. Well, anyway, literally 5 minutes before I meant to start, the area I live in, power cut, complete power cut, nothing, nada. So I had to cancel Monday night. But how did Spirit know that? Because I didn't get anyone in my meet and greet. How do they know that? Well, either I start thinking about fortune telling or quantum physics. I go, you're all right, clever bastards. And I go with the flow, and that's what it is. What do I think makes a good medium? Empathy, Stacey. And I think the best mediums have had the toughest lives. I think the best mediums, and by that I mean those that can be empathic to someone who's sitting in front of them. Because I've seen some amazing mediumship. I've seen amazing evidential mediumship that would knock your socks off. 15 minutes of just all this information, all this evidence or validations. And the person's gone, yeah, amazing. But what did that spirit person want to share with that recipient? If you've got a husband connecting with his wife and he gives 15 minutes of great validation, it's him, but the medium missed that she was stroking his hand as he passed and took off the wedding ring, and she's got it in her pocket, everything to her, then he's missed it. So I think for me, it's empathy. And you've got to like, I think you've got to like people. We're in a people business state. So I think I'm not saying you can't do like people. I know some mediums who can be quite antisocial. They're still great mediums. But I just think you've got to like people. You've got to care. I think you've got to care about people as well. I think. That's what I feel. If you don't care about people, why do it? Is my view. Because what we're doing, we're the job really is I say simple, is if you take it as an analogy, we're a mobile phone. But what I'm going to share with you, Stace, and everyone is, it happened to me as I was walking around the Arthur Finney College. For some of you may know the Arthur Finney College, I call it Hogwarts. I was walking around the grounds one day. I used to go there a lot on weeks courses. I was walking around the grounds one day, and I had a total lump. I had the total lump of spirit. I'd had a bad session. I'm effing and blinding. Why am I bothering? I'm never going to get this. What's it all about? It's all crap and rubbish. I'm never going to. And spirit just went, stop. And I very rarely get direct communication. I very rarely get because I'm a great believer that our guides are maybe a facet of us anyway. But they went, just stop. I went, you just do one. And they went, stop. And they said, put your hand out. So I went, what? And what they showed me, Stace, was when someone comes through, when a spirit person is entrusting me to reunite and facilitate a reunion with someone they love, everything they are, Stace, their memories, their love, their emotions, their connection, their consciousness, everything, their whole entire being is in the palm of my hand. What am I going to do with it? And I got goosebumps when I got told that, and I still get goosebumps when I think about it, because that's our responsibility. The responsibility we have is just off the chart, because people will be trusting us, and yeah. So that's my view. So thank you, Stace. I hope that was. I can be a bit opinionated. But yes, I can be a bit. I just think, yeah. So, are twin flames real? Oh, Bethany Skipworth, what a question. I was always skeptical. I really was. I always felt, I always felt there were twin souls. By that I mean twin souls or soul families. You meet someone, there's a connection to, and you're with them for a reason. There's an eternal soul connection. But a twin flame, as in the other part of you, yeah, I think there is. Yeah, there is. I say it with some reticence, but yeah, I think there is. How it works, I don't know. But I just think when you know, I think it's in the, me personally, it's in the eyes. If you're with someone, you look in the eyes and you know each other, I think it's the eyes. And the reason why I'm saying that, or one of the reasons I'm saying that, is I'm going to show you, because I've got it on my picture, but I have a picture by my PC. And I was talking about this, my mum and dad, to a friend of mine yesterday. And there's my mum and dad both in spirit, but look at the way my dad's looking at my mum. Look at the way my dad, and they've been married about 35 years at that point. Look at the way my dad is looking at my mum. And my mum and dad are twin souls, are twin flames. And I know that. I know that to be right. And yeah, my dad absolutely worshipped my mum, and my mum adored my dad. So yes, it's confusing, Bethany. Yeah, but it's only confusing if you think about it. Don't think about it, you feel it. How can your brain, okay, this is what's really important. Your brain can't make sense of emotions. That's not the brain's job. The brain tries to make it its job. How can the brain understand spirit? It has no knowledge of spirit. The brain has no experience of spirit. Its job is to if you like, encode, transfer, whatever you want, our spirituality into this physical experience. Yeah? The brain is more. The brain doesn't want to understand. I have this with my brain. The brain doesn't want to accept it's mortal. It's a processing unit that has been put in place for us since we were born, and it does a great job. But what served you when you was a child doesn't serve you now. It's like me. What served me as a young boy being bullied at school doesn't serve me now as a slightly older woman. It just doesn't. It's just different, and we have to work through. And that's what I'm getting to. The brain. The brain will hold on to repeat patterns of behaviour because it's trying to. So when you try and make sense of a twin flame or how you feel, how can it? Yeah, twin flame, Lindsay, for me, is just like the other half of you. And I said, oh, we're a whole person. I look at my mum and dad, and I was chatting to my friend yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. I think there is. Don't know how it works. But I just think you I look at I use my mum and dad as an example, but I was with my dad, and it's not a question of being over the top. But I remember my dad once. I was a kid. I had to go away one night away from work, and he came back. I remember saying to my mum, my memory's rubbish. But I remember saying to my mum, I remember it saying, "I'm never leaving you again," and they never had a night apart. Well, that may not be how all twin flames work, but I just know there's something so special, and it's eternal. And I also know, I'll just show you a quick story with my mum and dad. My mum passed June last year. My dad had been gone about 20 years. And my mum's passing was beautiful. My dad came and get her. She went through it. It was beautiful, right? But what the point I'm talking about is their uniqueness or their relationship. My mum got buried in a beautiful country church up in Stonemarket. Lovely country church, a country town. And I wasn't looking at the coffee much. Doesn't interest me. But I was just. They put on her reflective music. She wanted this old piece of music by someone called Akabilk, and it's just clarinet playing. And to the left was this, just like, I don't know, it must be a lecture or a small, maybe somewhere they do small services. Just this big red carpet area. Okay, there's my mum and dad dancing. Smiled at me. Didn't see them, but I know that's what they were doing because I know that's what I do. And I went, oh, hello. So they're together. It's just what they do. Why? Because they're twin souls. And occasionally I get that when I'm working. I'll get someone come through. Did we last night? No, not last night. Happened to me recently. I had a couple come through because I couldn't separate them. But that's what the family want to know. The family needs to know that they're together. Why? Because they always were. So, hope that answers your question a little bit. But you other people say there's no such thing as twin flames. And I go, and I was the skeptic. It was only recently for my mum and dad, and like I said, that the way my dad looks at my mum in all the photographs. It's just, yeah, there's an experience there. Oh, a bit deep, wasn't it? Bit romantic on a Saturday afternoon, wasn't it? Well, a bit romantic. But thank you for that, Linz. My music's finished. Why is my music finished? I don't know. What, Bethany? And again, Bethany, it's only my opinion, and I want to know why my music's finished. That's better. Yeah, absolutely stays. Yeah. I like that. Someone who has little life that's sinks to your own. We see even that, or it can be total opposites, can't it? There's a connection that's beyond physical, it's beyond emotions. I think for me as well, Stace, I take it a stage further. It goes past emotions. There's just a knowing, isn't there? It's just a knowing. And you're just sitting there. Another thing I tell you what I was talking is I was chatting to this yesterday. Do any of you remember the film Notting Hill? In the last scene, where I think it's Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant, or just sitting on a park bench reading books. Perfect moment. Perfect moment in time. If I need to manifest the kind of person we want us, do I believe manifestation? Yes. Asta, I was the biggest skeptic when it came to manifestation. I was, I was going, I'd read The Secret, heard about manifestation. I thought, yeah, here we go, But I was, in all honesty, just a wee bit skeptical until I manifested where I live. And I was on a women's retreat, and I knew I was going to have to move anyway. It's a long story, but I'll keep it short. I knew I was going to have to move anyway. And part of our last exercise was to manifest. And I said, right, I want to manifest where I want to live. I wanted a secret little garden. I described my little place where I wanted my nice desk. I wanted my place, my bed. I wanted a nice kitchen. And nice. Cut long story short, I did a charity night about 4 months later. And I just made a joke about it. I'm being homeless soon. Anyone got anywhere to rent? I hadn't said that. It was the first time, probably last time, I was going to make a little throwaway comment. A woman walks up to me who I knew a little bit. She said, I might have somewhere for you at the end of my land. I thought, oh, really? It's not a shed. My ex-partner built it because he was well, this is like, I've got like a little chalet, beautiful at the end of someone's land with a secret garden. I've got a space for my night. I've got a space for my nice bit. I've got my lovely big desk. I call it my studio. It's not really, but I've got everything. So yes, and I believe the more you are very specific about your intentions, the more you manifest. They say to give it to you and say, right, let you guys get on with it. That's why people say, oh, I've manifested a parking space. I go, well, so it's like the bigger you make your dreams, the bigger you want your manifestation. And if you say, right now, what I will say, Asta, when you say manifest your soulmate, question, are you ready emotionally and energetically to meet that soulmate? I get asked that a lot when I'm doing psychic or tarot card readings. Am I going to meet someone? I get asked that all the time. Well, I don't do many one-to-ones. And I say, well, okay, go down the pub and meet someone. And they go, don't meet them down the pub. All right, go down the nightclub. Well, obviously in the days you could. Oh, I don't mean a nightclub. Well, go online. No, I don't want to meet online. So what they're saying to me, I'm saying, what you really want is the guy in shining armour on his white horse to knock at your front door. And they go, yeah, that'd be nice. Oh, Mr. Security, yeah, that'd be nice. And then I say to him, okay, the question is not whether he knocks on your door or not, but are you ready to meet him? Because until we let go of all our past, all the stuff we carry that no longer serves us, you're going to attract the same people. Like attracts like. So if you're in the same place where you were, if all you've known, like there's an old song by George Michael, or Wham as they were called Bad Boys. If you go to the phase of just wanting to be around bad boys, but you don't outgrow that, you're always going to attract bad boys, whether you're 16 or whether you're 36, or you're 46. So what I'm getting to, Ashta, is that are you ready to manifest your soulmate? And then that comes down to where are you? How are you doing? What have you released? I mean, I've worked a lot with what's called sacred medicine, sacred plant medicine, and sacred toad medicine. And so I've worked a lot myself. I mean, I'm so different to what I was 2 years ago, even a year ago, even 6 months, or even 3 months ago. I believe the right people come along when you're ready, when you're open to it, and then suddenly with that, suddenly you find your soulmate. Suddenly you find that someone comes and makes you look at life so differently. Oh, a bit deep on a Saturday afternoon, isn't it? My goodness. A bit deep. Loving it this afternoon. Natalie North, hello, Trouble. How are you doing? How are you doing, Nat? Okay, so another question. Hasn't that? Hello, Amelia. How are you doing? So, got a few people here. How are you doing, Nat? How's things? Boundary. Is that where shadow work comes in? Yeah, because shadow doesn't mean bad, doesn't mean evil. Shadow work, because where there's light, there's shadow. How can you know your light side if you don't know your shadow side? I was doing a journey once, and I came back and went, yeah, I choose the light. Well, yeah, we all have a choice, don't we? So doesn't mean evil or anything like that, Stace. It just means we all have a shadow side. Because we all live. Sometimes we live in fear. Sometimes we're scared of things, and how do we react to fear? Most people get angry, or we're scared of something. How do we react? We run away. So it's and that's what I call our shadow side, the negative emotions. And to me, Stacey, it comes down to a place where you try and find a place where you're living in the moment. So hard. Just go, well, this moment. I do the meditations. We find a place where we quieten the mind, quieten the body and the emotions. And so what then happens, you lose any like thoughts of any attachment to the past, any pull from the past. You stop worrying about what's going on in the moment, and you have no concerns of the future. You're just in that moment. And when you find that moment, that becomes a moment of bliss. That becomes a moment of release where you're just in that moment. And I'm sure you've heard this. You go, this is a perfect moment. It's gone as quick as it came. But the clue is to find those perfect moments all the time, and then you do that by not having expectations of people. When you have expectations of people, they're going to let you down, aren't they? I'm not saying all the time, but the more I knew a girl years and years and years and years ago, and she was a girlfriend years ago, and she always kept raising the bar. And I sort of knew what was going to happen, but you try. At the time, I still try and jump the bar every time, but sooner or later you're going to fall over. That's what happened with me and her. This is a lifetime ago. And you can't. But that was her issues, but her not feeling good enough. But I'm coming back to what we were talking about with the shadow. So yeah, it's about living that. When I say about that attachments, you love people, but you don't own anyone. Oh, a bit deep. This is getting a deep one this afternoon, isn't it? On a Saturday afternoon, getting dark at 3 o'clock already. My God. Right. But yes, in answer to your question, Stacey, is where it all comes in. So I should have put this up. Once I knew that I could have put this on my Facebook page, but never mind. We've got whoever's meant to be here. Hey, hey, hey. Hi, Danielle. Hey, hey, hey. What do you want to talk about? Has anyone got afterwards, Becs? And hi, Sarah English. I think you mean afternoon. I suppose afterwards. Hi, Sarah Batten. Hello, you. How you doing? We're just chit-chatting for an hour on a Saturday afternoon. I thought so. I kind of guessed, Sarah. Just chit-chat on a Saturday afternoon, chewing the cud. Whatever that means. Amelia, I am great. Your eyes are looking fantastic, if I may say so. Lovely looking eyes. I'm all scheduled. Good. Boundaries. I'll talk to Natalie a second because I can. Boundaries. All kids need the boundaries. And Victoria's. Good. Oh, bless her cotton socks. Yeah, she already messaged me saying when I put it on YouTube. So I didn't realise. Hello, Sarah Jane. Oh, hello, Sarah Jane. Sorry. Hello, you. I know, Sarah Jane. Oh, Victoria, you angel. Thank you. She said she was going to put it up. She said, why haven't I put it up? She says, I didn't know the link till the last minute. Yes, the meditation does change you. Yes, it does. It does change you a lot. Yeah, and it is about, you see, I'm going to lead on from that. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, because it's when you talk about shadow work, it's releasing it, and it's like onions. It's always something to release, and because of what you're going through now will cause stuff to build that you're going to have to let go. And I get messages all the time, and this lockdown in particular, this second lockdown. And I think I said right at the start, I don't often get direct communication from spirit, but right just before this lockdown started, I was just doing my meditation. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember my own private meditation, whether it was just a meet and greet for the show, like an online thing, and they shared. I've started asking people just to share what we do, not because I'm trying to sell anything, but because it's community. I mean, people are really struggling. And this year has been a real struggle for so many people, but also it's been a year of great change. So that's been a great challenge for some people. There's been some changes that people have been made to face, and that's because the world is so different and will continue to be different. God, it's so deep here this afternoon, but I'm loving it. I'm glad it's been helpful, Asta. You're very welcome. A strange avatar, pink dog. I think it's a dog, pink hot dog, pink dog. Very nice. What's it mean when you hear voices in your ear? There's no one there. Right, Danielle. Now, you're talking about clairaudience when you hit clear hearing. I don't hear anything. I'm not clairaudient. But there's two types of clairaudience: internal, external. So the internal one is when when your brain goes, you hear a voice, and your brain, or you hear it inside your head going like it's your mum's voice, and then you get it externally, which is rarer because they got to manipulate all the air around the molecules and all that sort of stuff. So if it's happens to you, like if you're getting voices, say hello. You know, I get a voice in my head. Well, have you said hello? They go, no. Well, why not? Say hello. So, so what does it mean? When you hear? It could be, Danielle, you're going crazy. It could be you are crazy. It could be spirit. It could be your own spirit. But I would imagine it's spirit going, and if you're hearing, now you see, they won't. Listen, they won't. Unless it's your nan. Like, if your nan always calls you that horrible name, then it might be your nan. But spirit won't come through calling you a horrible name just for the sheer sake of it, because spirit doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. You know, if you got some, you're not getting some random spirit knocking. You know, would you, if you're walking down the road and some random person gave you a rude name, you'd punch them on the nose, wouldn't you? So if you hear voices and you heard it last week and you recognise who it was and they use a horrible name and you like some of the family like, tell them to bugger off. Or if it's like your nan who uses horrible language, just say hello. But if you get a voice in it, it's horrible, say, well, I'm not interested. End of story. It could be in your own head, but it could be spirit. But I don't get a spirit saying they can call it. Why would spirit do that? You know, if you go, this has got nothing to do with what happened to you, Alison. I got asked by a paranormal investigation company. I think their chief medium or one of their main mediums. I can't remember what they called it. So I went for a meeting. I said, but what happens when we go somewhere and there's nothing? And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, the last time I got asked to do an investigation and be the medium was at some fault, all these different rooms. Went around, there's no one. I said, this room, I said, people died in this room because I feel it. I said, oh, yeah, have you got anyone? No. Years ago, there was nothing. So within half an hour of an all-night investigation, nothing. He said, well, can you do anything? I said, no. There's nothing here. Nothing. I don't care what you're charging these people. There's nothing. There's bugger all here. Bugger all. And so I said to this company, and they were quite a big company, and I said, what do you do? They said, oh, we get you to wind the spirits up. I went, sorry? Get them to wind them up. I went, if there's spirits there who are visiting there or they want to be there, that's their home, that's their manor. Whatever they're there for, at that time, they're like, I'm not disrespecting them. Oh, we calm them down later. I went, you've got to be joking. So that was short-lived. And the other time it happened to me about spirits, a good friend of mine, another trans lady, she's very well known. She put something on Facebook, but she bought a pub down in the wilds of Kent, and she was getting a local vicar or something to exercise it. So I messaged her. I said, what the fuck are you doing? Don't be stupid. I'll come down and do it for you. I'll do it properly. There's anything there. And she said, okay, I'll get the press in. I went, okay, yeah, local press. So I've popped down there, and it's in with refurbing the whole place. And there's two guys there, but they're national press because this lady is quite well known from her background. And they've got these big filming cameras there. One's a photographer with all the video filming equipment, loads of equipment. And there's this other guy, his family stepbrother, who was to write the story. So I went, okay. So we walk around this whole pub. Nothing. I mean, nothing. Right? And what do you mean? There's nothing here. So my friend said to me, well, can you make something out of it? No. So the two journalists said, look, can we do an interview between the two of you? Have a chat. So we did. They filmed us doing an interview, and then I did a group night for them. There was some friends of this Kelly friend of mine, and there was the two journalists. Well, the two journalists, as I said, turned out they were stepbrothers, and the dad came through, and these two butch, hard-nosed Fleet Street journalists were outside crying each other's arms afterwards. I love how spirit work. But what happened was this is how the press. It ended up on page 3 of the Daily Star about 3 weeks later. A big story, over nothing. How they wrote a whole page I said it was page of the Daily Star, which is quite funny anyway. And it was like, so, I don't know, I was some trans exorcist. I can't remember what they called me. But what I'm getting to is about voices and noises. It can be real. So I'm just off on a tangent because it's Saturday afternoon. But if you get a voice, say hello. It's like if they're there to interact if it's there to interact with us, interact with them. If you get nothing, if you get a rude name, just say, "Hi, Max. Hello, gorgeous. How you doing?" If you get, say if a split calls you a rude name. I mean, if I'm working, then Alison, I'm not saying it wasn't spirit, but what I think might have happened is, remember, when we get spirit voices, when we get spirit blending, our brain has still got to make sense of it for the physical experience. Whichever way you look at it, the brain's got to make sense of it. So your brain could well have just flipped that. It could well have been coming, aren't you beautiful? And your brain goes, actually, you see yourself as maybe something like that, and your brain flips it. So, if you go, who are you? And you've got nothing. I'm not saying it wasn't spirit drawing close, but were they saying that? But that's what your brain has turned it into. Remember, our brain is our interaction tool between this world and spirit. That's its job. It's to make sense of, into our eyesight, we're seeing of such a small range of light vibration that we think that's all there is. If you think about it, take a stage further, we base almost our whole lives on what we can see. If someone was passed with a deep exhaust going on a motorbike, that motorbike could be a 20-year-old motorbike with a broken exhaust, or a brand new 20-grand motorbike with a big exhaust. Never know. If you sleep in a comfortable bed, if you get a ball feels lovely and snugly, but you can't see where you are, could that bed be worth 150 or say £500 or 500,000? We just don't know, do you? Oh, deep on a Saturday afternoon. I love it. I love a chat on a Saturday afternoon. So, right. Oh, Sarah Batten, I'm going to love this question. Right. Right. Sarah Batten, I've got basically, if time and space are only relative to us here and now, when we reincarnate, do you think we can pick a time? Oh, Sarah, what a great question. What you're suggesting is time on a time loop. Now, if time is on a time loop, then it's already happened, isn't it? If we can choose a space and time and place we want it, we can choose a time, place and time space we want to reincarnate, that means it's all already happened. Can't be happening, or it's all happening at the same time. And every moment of every time it's happening right now. I know. Does your brain, doesn't it? Does your brain in? It's like doing my meet and greet. How do they know where someone's going to be sitting? Happened to me once where a mum showed me where her daughter's going to be sitting. Exactly what she's going to be wearing. I started doing my chat and she wasn't there. I went, it's a load of crap, innit? Until the woman came in, sat exactly where the mum was going to show me. She walked in at 8:10. And I said to her, why were you late? She said, I was going to come. I just got home 8:45. I felt I had to come. So what I'm getting to is, how did the mum know? I'd go crazy thinking about it. So I don't know how deja vu works, but sometimes you're with someone, you go, I know you. Now, as far as reincarnation, can we go back in? No, I don't think we go back in time. Only my view, because if you do past life regression, then you've already experienced it. Now, I don't know. Can you do future life regression? Now, if you could do future life regression, wouldn't that blow people's minds? Whoa! So that means you've already lived this life fully. So if you could do future life regression, Sarah, then that means we've already finished this life. We've done all the other lives as well. Because I believe that time and space is relative to where we are now in this experience. How many years, how old you are, it's based on how many times the Earth has gone around the sun, or how many times the Earth has spun once going around the sun. All ties into 72, another story. So do we choose when we come back? I think there's an element of that, Sarah. How it works, not a clue. But what I do know, so I get asked this all the time, when I cross over, if God goes, I've got a nice girly body for you this time, Becs, off you go. I go, no, I'm not going nowhere yet. God, stuff you. I'm not going anywhere until I know my son is okay and my grandkids are okay. I don't see them, but I'm attached to them. I won't hang about for my great grandkids because I've got no physical attachment to my future great grandkids. And saying that, I might well meet them in spirit world anyway. In fact, I might be one of them in the future. You see, this stuff gets really deep, doesn't it? Yeah, but I think we have how it works, how we choose when we come back. Yeah, but I think we go backwards. Yeah, and the deja vu. Oh, Sarah, isn't it? Just this is a bottle of this is 2 bottles of wine late night after an Indian meal thing, isn't it? Really, this is where you just chat all night and go, oh, and you finish with no answers because there aren't any answers because science can't answer them yet. And when science tries to, remember, science doesn't have any answers. It just science. All science tries to do is try to fill a void. Science hates voids, and science just tries to put theories that make them fit. And then when you realise they don't fit, the scientists who put those theories forward because they don't want to risk their careers will fight onto the theory that doesn't work because they're so frightened of losing their career. As in the Sphinx in Egypt is a good example. And you want to know about the Sphinx in Egypt? Let me know. But the Sphinx in Egypt is now so much older than the current, like last generation of geologists thought it was. Now we now know it's much older than they thought, but they can't change their perspective because they've got their own blinkers on. Oh, how deep's this? Jackie, hi, my lovely. How are you doing? Future is the Akashic Records. Don't know. You see, the Akashic Records is where everything is meant to be recorded. But it hasn't happened yet. How can it be recorded yet? And if it's already been recorded, it means it's already happened, Stace. Which means, am I just a video playback? Just go. Isn't this morning wonderful? I mean, I think you used my example yesterday. I had a fantastic day yesterday. Thank you very much, Spirit, for that. Fantastic day off and evening off yesterday. Had a movie night with a friend of mine, absolutely beautiful. And today, it's quite. I'm going to finish here. I'm going to do my meet and greet, have a shower, and do my spirit work this evening. Might have a glass of wine later. See how I feel. No, I can't. I haven't got any. Change that. Got no wine in. But you see, if it's already been written, it's already happened, it. Or if the future's going to be it's being written, but we haven't lived it yet, that means we've got no free will. And we've got free will. See, we're going down a rabbit hole. Yeah, it will be. Yes, that was an intense, overshadowing experience for you, that young lady. Sarah's referring to Sarah said lost her son, and he came through with me. I think it was 5 days. Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong. He came through 5 days after he went home, and he's been around a lot. And he pops in a lot during the meditation. But Sarah came on a workshop I did before lockdown for an intermediate advanced group, mediumship group, and we did some overshadowing work at the end. And he came through for his mum, and through the medium, the student, Sarah held her son's hand. That's the gift that's intended to spirit. And now he's around the home a lot. Yeah, well, of course, where else would he be? Around his mum. But it'd be is it? Yeah. If you're into the Akashic, I'm not a great knowledge. I'm not a source of great knowledge when it comes to the Akashic records. I've done workshop. I've done Akashic meditations, but I don't see it as a written book. A written book is physical, so I think it's a way of interpreting that everything that ever was, ever will be. Everything that ever was has been recorded, and it's called the Akashic Records. But I don't think, my view, and when we do a meditation, you do it as writing it and look at your book, but it won't be a physical book when we cross over, will it? It can't be, because we're not physical when we cross over. But it's a great way of making sense of what they will be. We turn it into a book. The Akashic Records, it's your book of life. Well, it's not really a book. I can't see that being paper on the other side and pens. If you think where we are now, how many of you ever written if you're going to write a book, you certainly use pen and paper and look at books. How many times do any of you guys pick up a book? It's all online. So imagine that. Imagine 10,000 years from now, how many books will there be? So I think it's a metaphor for what the actual fact is, Stace. It's a way of explaining what something we can understand. Us humanic simpletons. Remember, we're in this brain, and this brain can only function on what it knows physically. Oh, we are going down a rabbit hole today. I've always been told life is what you make it, and sometimes you don't always get what you ask. So that's why yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep. Life is what you make it. Yes. Was it life isn't always a bowl of cherries? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think we're planning to come down, but in percentage change. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Paul. I totally agree. I think it's very much. It was explained to me once. I loved it. It's explained like we know what we've come for. So we're like an aeroplane that's flying to a destination from London to San Francisco. We know where we want to fly to, but the wind will take the pilot off course. There might be some storms, but it always comes back on course. And that's what I think it is. Is what are we here to learn? And we always find a way of trying. If we open up to those possibilities, if we open up to our higher self, we'll get back on track to experience this time. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, there's always been a change, a change. Put 10% of chance. Yeah, but like sliding doors. But yeah, I think it's a case of when we come here, we get. This is to experience and to grow and learn, and this is like it should be a beautiful playground. It's not all the time. It should be, but that's how we are collectively. You said right. Well, my first question really was it a psychic reading or was it a mediumistic reading? If it was mediumistic, then how I view it is I just charge my battery power up, my working power up. I link with my healing. I link with spirit and let them get on with it. And so I have my working power. But if you're doing a siren, you can make something that will you straight away. And I don't go, you need all this protection. You don't. It's just setting the intention of when you're working, set your working power up, and off you go. But I think the psychic work will drain you more because you're working from you to the person in front of you. And that person is so negative, so they'll suck you in. But a good example of that, Amelia, if you read a book called The Celestine Prophecy, it talks a lot about control dramas and how people will drain you. And then what happens is they start draining you, and then you feed that more and more, and suddenly you're feeding it quicker and deeper than you can replenish from the universe. So how do I boost my energy up? If after I finish work? I don't. I just. It's almost like okay, let it recharge on its own. That's why I always say to someone, if I've done a show, and people come to me after a show and say, "Oh, it's only chance you can get my dad." I go, well, "You give me £100,000, I get my dad. I couldn't get your dad now because I've used my energy. I've used my battery power." But every medium's different. And again, experience. So depending on how many readings you're doing, Amelia, if you're doing 6 readings a day, then your energy levels going to be different. Someone's just one every 3 months. It's all different. It's also identifying how it's making you feel. So just identify how it makes you feel. All a bit deep. So thank you for that question, Amelia. Oh yeah, there you go. Seeing orbs. Yeah, I don't often see orbs. I think you see them on films. I've got them on camera, but I think the last time I saw an actual orb was when I was working in Mac's place. I work in Basden, and a young guy came from site just left, and suddenly I just saw this huge orb go up the wall, and I thought I was making it up. And so I looked at Mandy, who owns the place, and suddenly I went, "Did you see that?" So yeah, orbs. They call them the first stage of manifestation. Yeah, it's a spirit. I mean, again, why did it take digital cameras to bring orbs into the focus? You don't see many on old-fashioned just like films. Well, don't know. But when I see something, when I've watched, in fact, I've been part of an investigation where we've got the infrared movement cameras, and it's like a snowstorm. Where I went this one time, it's like a bloody snowstorm. It wasn't dust. Trust you sit silver 10-15 inches, you don't get snow dust, and then you don't get dust doing this. But yes. If you ever see orbs or feel orbs, just go, hello. Just set the intention of hello. You haven't got to use your voice. Just set the intention of hello. And that's how it works. Oh, a lovely question. Well, what nice thing to talk about. Oh, God, Jackie, I'm really sorry. You started me yawning, Jackie. I hope you're not too tired. You used to start me yawning, Jackie. And again, I know Jackie quite well. Yeah, if he calls, mate. If you're Steve, is it Steve? Isn't it? I think husband Steve. If Steve pops in a manifest, I want to know all about it, but not if it's rude. All right, Jackie. Don't want to know. Because one of our girls, so again, I try and be quite disciplined when I'm working. So if I'm doing a night online, it's tarot, and for me, tarot and me are different. Tarot is psychic, tarot is intuitive, tarot is psychic. I'm working with the recipient, so we're going this way. My incarnate spirit to incarnate spirit. I like to call it internal mediumship. So it's very rare or unusual for me to get someone come through. If I do, I put the tarot cards to one side. And a young lady called Jen is part of our group. Her naughty husband popped in while I was doing tarot cards. He was a bit naughty. He talked about, I think it was the third drawer down in the bedroom. See, men and the look. See, men know where the stuff is. So there you go. That's lovely. Hi, I hope you're having a lovely afternoon, Jackie. Lovely. Yeah, it's just energy. I was starting to look at you. I'm yawning again. Oh, Jackie, go get some sleep. Blimey. Oh, and I'm warm as well. I don't know if you're really warm, Jackie, but it's really interesting. I'm boiling hot. I've gone all boiling hot, Jackie. I'm really hot. That makes sense. I was trying. Yeah, okay. I remember, Stace. The arcacity is just but it's like chakras. People go, oh, you open your chakra and you've got to close your chakras. How can you close your chakras? Well, they're an energy transfer. They're like a transformer. Energy comes in, and they convert. That's why you do them as colours. They represent a colour vibration, and they've got different frequencies. So that's how they're represented. Are the chakras really red little dots? Is your sacral, your orange chakra really orange and sits at the bottom of your coccyx? It probably sits at the bottom of your coccyx, but is it bright orange? Probably not. Is it a lotus blossom? Probably not. But the lotus petals is symbolic of the waveform behind it. The orange colour is symbolic of the vibration of its work. Your heart chakra isn't really green. Really, it works so it could be the vibration is green because that's the vibration it probably works at. So therefore, you say, "Oh, that's the colour green's vibration." So there you go. If I'm right, when I read about the ancients, they didn't use colours. And so in the akashic theories, depending on what you read, who you talk to, how can it really be a book? Really, a paper book? Well, we've only had paper. I'm sure there's some form of paper 10, 12,000 years ago, but we've only really had paper presses in the modern era. I think 16th, 15th century. I mean, I'm not saying what we didn't have pre-Egyptians back in as Egyptians call it, the Egyptians call it the first time, before the last ice age, the end of the Younger Dryas, when you had things like Atlantis and Mesopotamia. If you're interested in Atlantis, look up Mesopotamia. Some interesting stuff going on. Anyway, I'm going to go down rabbit holes. I'm not careful. Well, I'll do go down a rabbit hole. But so I sort of struggle with being paper. Really, it's a book, but it's more like an energy, isn't it, of everything you are, everything you were, and everything you can be as well. Oh, getting very deep. But thanks, Stace. Good question. Don't got any more questions for us to talk about. Otherwise, I can just chit chat for now. Do orbs have different meanings? Not a clue. Not a clue. I just see orbs. I got photograph orbs. I see them as just like when you blow bubbles, different colours within them. So I don't know. I've never seen different colour orbs. The one I saw was very similar to the one I've seen in photographs, which is almost like a rainbow coloured. It's almost like a snow, when you blow bubbles when you're kids. It's almost like that. And people say they can see faces. But the things with me, Maxine, I'm rubbish at seeing things in photographs. I've been sent photos all down. What do you think is in the picture? Do you think it's a man's face in the orb? I go, Well, I can't see it, but they might be saying, no, I can't see it. Or I've been sent pictures of photographs saying, can you see the face in the cloud? I go like, no. I mean, the only thing I was any good at is, the when you get a picture, a colour picture, and it's like a colour, and sometimes if you look at a certain way, the picture jumps out at you. I can do that because I zone out and I see what's there. But as far as like different colours and faces and things, people send me things. I say, you're more than welcome, but I probably won't see it because it's not my skeptical head, although I am quite skeptical. It's more a case of my brain doesn't work that way. So I'm not saying colour orbs don't have different colours. They might do, but I have not. See, I have enough trouble working out what the orbs actually mean anyway, because they're meant to be spirit. So is that a spirit person as an orb? Or is it a part of a spirit person? Or is it part of your memory of that spirit person? I don't know. I've no idea I don't know what they are. But I've been told by choosers they're the first stage of manifestation, because they're your first stage. Then you get like like a sharp light shaft. And I nearly photographed one. And my camera, so it's green. I was at the Arthini College doing a photograph at the end of the week. It was in the library. And I went to take the phone. This green light just sharp went down in front of the tutor. And I missed the photograph by about 2 seconds. And the third stage is ectoplasm, and the fourth stage is a full manifestation of someone. Now, I've never seen ectoplasm for real. I've seen that shaft of light once, seen loads of orbs. But then I go, why do they need to manifest? What do they need? Or is it more, what do we need? And then how does our brain interpret what it's seeing? Oh, we've gone down some deep holes this afternoon, haven't we? Some deep holes. Loving it. Okay. So we're carrying on chatting, shall we? So got any other questions? I can just waffle. I'll just chat for hours. What should we talk about? I don't know. What should we talk about? The ends are all over the place at the moment. Yeah, that is the truth. So this year, for anyone who's watching, has been so it's been like the best of times and the worst of times. It has been a crazy time this year. And I think still more craziness to come. But I use Sarah's against I say with Sarah's permission, is how a lot of you have chatted. I don't know, even watching this, who's going to catch it. Maybe you're watching this on catch up in some random month next year or the year after. And you're going, what? And you're here for a reason, right? This is the synchronicity. If you're watching it, you're here for a reason. Yeah. But then, Paul, my question would be, who told you that? You've seen facing all the covers. Okay. Yeah, maybe. But I'm sure you're right. Yeah. But, don't know. What do you mean by a lower vibration? What's a spirit of a lower vibration? I don't, it's like, so this is why I go with this. Work white, green and red. Well, how do we know there's not other colours in there that we can't see? Because remember, we've only got this very small range of visual ability on the light spectrum. So, if spirit told you white is normal, well, what's a normal spirit person? Aren't we all got, so it's like, so when's a white spirit person become a group? When do they get promoted to, okay, but when does a white person get promoted to a green one? So is that see, I get very deep, Paul. I am like a rabbit. So I'm like a dog with a bone. So if you're a white corb, but you want to become a guide, when do you get promoted to a green light? And if you're naughty, do you get put down a red light? It doesn't sit with me. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I go like, really? Maybe you're right. But, it's like, one of my guys, a guy called Michael, he was on the Earth form. So when did he go from white to green light? And then if he goes white, who then judges it? Is there an exam? They go, actually, you can now become a green light. I don't, and it's not me being facetious. I don't know the answer. So it's like I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I have loads of questions. People talk about 9/11 a lot, and I just say, well, when you can tell me how that third building collapsed at free fall speed when nothing hit it, then we can talk. But they don't want to. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. But it's the same with this, Paul. So I go, okay, I'm a white. I go over there. I'm a white orb, but I want to be a guide. Well, then what exam do I have to sit to become a green orb? Then who decides I become a green orb? And is there something? Can you see what happened? Can you see what I'm saying, Paul? I'm not saying you're right or wrong. It just sounds a bit weird to me. But that's only me. And I get something. I'm almost judging it on a human experience, because that's what we've really got this lifetime. But I like that, Paul. I like that a lot. Oh, okay. I wonder why you keep seeing faces. Are you seeing faces, or are you feeling their faces? Because why would they? Here's another question, Paul. Why would they need to manifest looking as a face? It's not their face anymore, is it? Because the physical body will express. Why would they? If you don't know them, why would they need to manifest as a face? Yeah, that's only my thing. Red's mischievous, but that's what we attach the colour red. So maybe you're seeing it as red because that's what your brain's trying to make sense of it for you. I don't know. I mean, I do know when I teach mediumship is what I find, and this is what was taught to me, and I learned this lesson, painful lesson once when I was Deming. I got taught, and I share it, is that as soon as the brain gets involved, it will flip things, and light becomes night, good becomes bad, because the brain will. You're getting something. The brain's trying to say, and then the brain flips it to the opposite. So what comes to again is like, why would always need to be any colour? If they're spirit, why would there be any colour? I don't know, Paul. It's just like I've got loads of questions, But the whole thing is here's a question for you to maybe think about. So there you go, Paul. So there you go. You got spirit drawing close to you when you need them most. And it doesn't really matter what colour those orbs were, really. It was spirit drawing close to you. And you don't have to justify it. It's like when I work with spirit, I don't say, oh, I've got a big master guide. I mean, you see it a lot. Oh, my master guide is a big red in with 100 big white feathers. Really? So, you hear people talk something. My guide's bigger than your guide. Well, good luck to you. That don't matter. It's like my guide was the biggest sarcastic git in the world for a while, because I just saw it. I said, well, you're guide, it's your enemy. And he presented himself all sorts of things first. He even came to me once as an Asgard from SG1. He said, I'm Harry the Asgard, I'm your guide. I went, oh yeah, you do one. So what I'm getting to is what I feel is that sometimes we're looking for what things look like, because that's our main experience of what things look like. Wow, I've enjoyed this afternoon. Paul, that's great, actually. Oh, absolutely. Right, comes with there's no such thing as colour. No, there is such thing as colour, because it's a colour. But it's right. What it is, Stace, there is colour because it's a vibration, and it has an energy behind it. Right. So there is colour, but it's a vibration. So it doesn't matter how it's produced on our planet. It's an energy vibration, because certain colours make you feel a certain way. Why? There's a vibration or energy behind it. It resonates at a certain frequency to make it that colour. So I think when we cross over, is anything as colour. I've done work crossing over, and it's all grey and silver, and then it become bright. So I don't know how it's all going to work. I'm sure we see colour. In fact, I know we see colour on the other side, but how it works, don't know. But that is colour produced by different chemicals? No, I don't think so. It's a vibration. If you go out the atmosphere, you'll see the white stars. So you could say this, but even white and black, even white, light and dark, it's colour, isn't it? Two extremes: the light of the stars, the moon, or no, it's the light of the stars, light of the sun, which is a star, and then the light as the sun reflects off the planets. The darkness, that's all colour, isn't it? Like that, though. Like that. So how do you make sense of the colour of the spaceships when they're on the moon? Assume they wasn't all coloured in, and assume you believe that the moon lands were real. Oh, rabbit hole alert! Like that, those states. What an afternoon! What an afternoon of chit chat. But what I always say to people, I'm chatting away. Yeah, there you go. And I always say to people, whenever we have a chat, don't take my opinion of anything. If we're chatting and you go, oh, Becs, that resonates with me, great. Take it as your truth until you find something else, something different. If I chat and you go, that sounds rubbish, well, tell me why you think it sounds rubbish and we'll talk about it. Like with Paul, I'm trying to get my head around what some of the Paul things were saying. It made me question stuff. So I go to Paul, I don't understand a bit. How would that work? And then it makes Paul then think, yeah, how would you go from white to green? Because we can all become guides. So do they get like their temporary wings, or do they become like, provisional green lights? I don't know. It's not meaning, I'm not being pedantic. Well, maybe a little bit. I'm not meaning to be. I question everything. Do I meditate night and morning? What I tend to do, Emilio, is if I wake up enough, and I haven't done it for about 3 weeks, I'll do my own 20-minute meditation that I love. I just disappear. But because I'm doing online meditation for people at 9 o'clock in the morning, I tend to drift a little bit. Don't meditate, I drift a bit. I mean, we did Friday night, Friday morning is always chakra morning. And I went right off that time, but I don't normally because I'm taking the meditation. Like tonight, because I'm working tonight, will I call it meditation? Not really, but I'm going to link the spirit in about 20 minutes and then have a sleep for an hour or two. So that's my meditation. But I don't meditate per se, as in just focus on a candle, hold it. I don't. I should do. But in the mornings, if I get a chance, I've got a set piece of music I love. So should I meditate more? I should do, really. But what you'll find is when you meditate, I'm looking at the time because I'm looking at my pulse rate, you find meditation is fantastic for you because it brings your pulse rate down, it makes you healthier, it makes you detach from stuff. I mean, I don't know, 197 years old, do I? All from meditation. It's nice, it's all surgery. But yes. So I don't meditate night and morning. If I could, would I? Yeah. If I could do yoga twice a day, I probably would do. Moon landings. Oh, Stacy, moon landings. Yeah, I know. There are some real anomalies, but I read somewhere there's something like 66,000 people in on the fraud. So I don't know. I know they talk about hierarchical command and how only certain few people have got to know because they mustn't get sucked into it. I don't know. My question would be, why haven't we gone back? What's up there? What have they discovered or rediscovered? And when they sent one of the lunar landing modules back to the moon, it resonated like a bell, and they were hypothesizing the moon is hollow. Ancient spaceship, possibly. Great book, Stace, called Who Built the Moon? And here's a thought about the moon. Because the moon's moving backwards all the time, but it's all to do with 70 seconds. But the moon, when there's an eclipse, fits just perfectly in front of the sun. Perfectly. And the moon shouldn't even be there. It's too large. It goes on and on, the moon. Shouldn't be there. So, did we visit there? Don't know. Should we go? Are we going back? Don't know. What do they see? Don't know. But they won't tell us, will they? And extra, you see, the other thing, you want to go down a dark hole, extraterrestrials, UFOs, the Pentagon have confirmed there's UFOs. A guy called Commander, he's on Joe Rogan, Staffley, he was a flight commander on an aircraft carrier, and they filmed these, what they call them Tic Tacs. And the Pentagon said, yes, we can confirm, we don't know what they are. Should be world news, but it's not because of the coronavirus. Don't start me on that either. Yes, rabbit holes. So thank you, Stace. But yes, possible what you get up to as a spirit relates to where you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Remember, we are a frequency. Our spirit's a frequency. I hate that word frequency, but we're an eternal being, but our brain's not. And our brain is trying to make sense of every physical experience. That's its job. The brain's job is to go, yep, that's hot. You learned that's hot, don't be handing it. Our brain learns spatial awareness. So I can grab that bit of paper and go, yep, got me a bit of paper. I know that paper's yellow because I've learned to say that colour's yellow. I learned this from nice people. But when we talk about our intuitive feeling, as our psychic being, the eternal us, we don't trust us enough. And then we start getting other ways of trying to fill in. We start getting voids, and we start trying to fill in voids in different ways. Yeah. Possibly what you get up to the spirit relates to where you're right. Possibly, yeah. But then who decides when you become green, Paul? What decides you become green? What's the criteria? I don't see, it's like so many rabbit holes in there. Oh, the Manhattan Project. Yes. Or did it actually happen? Oh, yeah. Manhattan Project is time travel, isn't it? time travel. Did it actually happen? Oh, I don't know. I've read into that. Not so sure. Not deeply enough, but not so sure, Paul. Not so sure. Oh, that's the other thing, Sarah. Yes, look, you know, I've seen the film of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and the other guy at the press conference. They've just come back from the moon. You'd have thought they'd have been jumping for joy, but they look the most miserable looking bastards in the world, aren't they? And they never spoke about it. So you just, will the truth ever come out? You could argue, does it matter? You know, who knows? I want to change the music. Does it matter? You know, but yes. Oh, the choke bomb. Oh, okay. So right. Yes. Sorry, I'm with you now. Sorry, Paul. And then, oh yes, and then you look at all the UFOs around the White House when that first got developed. Yes. Sorry, with you now, Paul. I thought you was talking about what was the boat, the ship that they disappeared. 20 people in the chat said, I love that. 220 and 22 people having a chit chat. Really nice. 222. It's 222, is it? Oh, okay. No, he didn't, did he? That's interesting, isn't it, Paul? Do you know why? Oh, we'll have a chat now, Paul, because I like you. Do we know why he didn't go back into space? What was that? That's actually never did. But did Buzz Aldrin go back? That's it. Philadelphia. Thanks, Paul. God, you're on the ball, Paul. Philadelphia Experiment. That's it. Saw the film, I think. Yes, and the other film that came out of it where they went back to the Second World War, Battle of Midway, wasn't it? I remember right, that film. Oh, bye, Jackie. It's all right. Let me know if I want anything. Oh, yes. Copious amounts of drink tonight, and I've had lunch. I'm fine. I was craving a cheese roll on, but I'm fine now. I think so. I think the government, yes, they know far more than they're telling us. I think often they let the truth out in TV shows, but don't quote me on that one. Oh, the other thing is, the big thing is that how old our civilization is. Before the end of the last ice age, when all the meteorites and the comets hit the planet Earth and wiped us all out, and we all have to start again. Just look at what if you start me, I will go down rabbit holes. Oh wow! Didn't know that. So the guys actually got to walk on the moon. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Didn't know that one. Wow. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Hold on. Where are we? Chit-chatting away. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's, are we going to Mars? That's the next question. Could we get to Mars? Paul, what do you think? Paul Bum, your name looks familiar. Can we get to Mars? Oh, sorry. Oh, Graham Hancock. I love Graham Hancock's work. And his latest work, the work in America, which he did a lot of work with Carlson, didn't he? And then he did some work with Robert Schlock as well, before that, about the Great Sphinx. Because that's much older than we thought it was as well. Yeah, I am headed. Love the work of Graham Hancock. And the other person, and Bright Insight. Have you checked out Bright Insight? So I'm chatting like it's just me and Paul. Have you checked out Bright Insight, the YouTube channel? Can't remember the guy. I think his name is Brian. I've got 5 minutes left, or about 4 minutes left now. Just everyone wants to chit chat. So if anyone's got any last questions before we finish, it's been a great Saturday afternoon. I know it's only a few, because of what I will say is, please support Rich with what's going on. The poor man just can't access his Facebook page, so I think it's been like just being. Everything's just been about trying to get him to get so he can get the word out, get his channel out. Did they know that we might take it? Oh, go back to Tepe. That could be part of it, couldn't it? Go back to Tepe could be after it, couldn't it? Or maybe they didn't know it was coming because there wasn't enough time to. Or there's pyramids all over the world. Maybe they're power plants. Who knows? Just don't know, do we? Just don't know. But the Egyptians called it the time before, the first time. The Egyptians knew they weren't the first. Do I experience anything unusual at the Arthur Finney College? Usually only after I've been in the bar for a couple of hours of an evening, Amelia. So I love the college when I study there, and I haven't been there for a while, and obviously I haven't been there for a while. I love the energy of the place. I love being in a bubble. I do find I my energy's starting to change a bit there now. So maybe I needed a break from it because you do get some students there with some egos sometimes. I had a row with someone from America a little while ago. Ooh. Always follow the money, Paul. Always follow the money. Absolutely. Absolutely. What am I saying now? Yes, so coming back to meeting in the college, I love the college. I love the bar at the night time as well. Also, the food there is great as well. But obviously, I don't think I'll be there till next year. But yeah, it's I had one of the last times I had a massive row with a student, which I shouldn't have done really. But that's just me. I can't do bullshit. I just can't. But I think you mean spiritually. You get the old feeling there. I mean, I tell you what, if you go now, in the library, yeah, absolutely. We've all felt Gordon draw close because Gordon loves the library. So I'm talking about the Arthur College. Most of you may not know. The Arthur College is Stansted Hall, up by Stansted Airport, which is a development college. And I'm going to advertise what's on tonight for you. You've got because here we go. Oh, I'm lovely and clear. There you go. You've got Sam Pitt on tonight at 8:00. If you want to come and talk to Sam or watch Sam work, I've got a bit going on as well. So maybe flip between both of us. But I've heard Sam's lovely and very good as well. I've heard. So I said Sam's on 8:00 tonight. I'm going to finish now. If you want to visit, there he's put up his Rich's. I always call him Richard really. Richard's website. You can find him at spiritualpsychicstv.co.uk. Don't message him on Facebook because the poor man can't get into it at the moment. Hope it's going to change. So as always, I'm going to thank Richard because he lets me come on here once a fortnight. I know I missed the last fortnight. He lets me come on here. I waffle, chat about anything that comes up really. And it isn't just about mums and dads coming through. As important as that is, we can go down with Paul those beautiful rabbit holes of moonlands because it all ties in. It all frigging ties in. It just does. Having this physical experience. So with that, everyone, I want to thank you all for being here. All your questions. I do go with the flow a bit, but if anyone's found me for the first time, you can find me over Becs UK on Facebook. But stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and the rest of your weekend. And hopefully I will see you all very soon. And sorry about me being stupid because my mic was on, then it was off, then the loudspeaker was on, but we sorted it in the end. So with that, everybody, have a lovely afternoon. Thank you so much. So, namaste. Take care now. Bye. I don't know, I'm still lying. Oh, there we go. I can tell myself.